Hello, welcome to another video. This one is how I've progressed with the 28mm British Falklands Airborne that I'm doing. As I've already mentioned, I'm just doing a section for ultra low level skirmish, and I showed you what the work I've been doing on the previous video on the guy with the GPMG, and I mentioned about the sling. So this basically is an update on that. It's only a short video. And to give you a bit more information about, Sangin, which is the second edition of Skirmish Sangin, which I'll be using for the games. So we'll get down to the workbench and have a look at the figure. Okay, so the 28mm British GPMG gun I was talking to you about. Basically, sort of finished, see if I can get that in focus, finished them by sort of completing the sling. So what we've done, this part of the sling is to mount a puree tube, which is sort of like a flexible metal sheet that you can buy. Obviously, tube of tomato puree for 45p. Obviously, throw it in your bolognese or squeeze it out. Split the tube with a knife, unroll it, clean it, and you get quite a useful set of sheet of metal for a very reasonable price. So this is the GPMG sling. Before I go on to it, I'll show you a photograph to explain. When I was in, there was a technique that you used to use for the sling. This is I'll come out a bit. Stand by. This is a photo of a 3 para guy from Afghanistan. So what you've got, obviously, this is the GPMG here. There's a loop where you attach the sling. It's obviously this clasp here on the sling, goes into there, goes up over your shoulder. There's a thicker part of the sling here. Then what you do, it sort of goes round your arm, if you can see, and then down this way, and it attaches to the butt. There's a loop on the top of the butt. I'll show you another photo, which is slightly better. This technique here, which I used when I was in, it just helps stabilize the back of the gun. So this is the end near the pistol grip. And you do see it quite a lot with, well, not blowing me on trumpet, with people who are switched on. That's the way to carry it, really. I've got another photo here I'll show you, like maybe able to see a bit clearer. Again, attached to the front, over this shoulder, wrapped round, and then attached to the butt at the back. So that's what I wanted to do. So if we look at the figure now, zoom in a little bit. If I can, right, there we go. Right, so we've got the little loop that I've modelled here. It goes up here. There's a few little buckles and whatever that I've modelled out of green stuff. Up over his shoulder, the thicker part of the belt over his shoulder, round under his armpit, back over this way, the thin part of the strap, and the loop attached to the rear of the butt. So basically that's where we're. Oh, he's finished now. I've blended the base in. These guys, I got them from Grip and Beast. They've appeared to have, for whatever reason, something to do with the moulding process. I imagine they've sort of. The base is like double thickness as the original thin base, then they've put it on another one. So it means you've got quite a sizable base that this is just milliput that I've blended in. Then I'll put the terrain over the top just so you can't see the base and everything blends in. But all in all, I'm quite happy with them. Got a little bit, I don't know if you can see here, there's a little bit of the sling sort of sticking up that I managed to do that. Quite happy. It looks much more like a GPMG than what it originally did, and I'm reasonably happy with it. Just further, so I've got the 8 figures. I'm only doing a section. This is one of the guys that I'm currently been working on. So obviously the DPM's finished, got the weapon finished. I've added, these are the old Mongrel Miniatures figures. You can see this guy's actually got a gas mask bag on. They're obviously designed for the Cold War for Germany, so there's some slight variations. I know wasn't always worn in the Falklands. Some guys did, because you could obviously get rid of the gas mask and get quite a lot of gear in. It's not on all of them, which is okay. So I'm reasonably happy with it. And as I've said, it's been painted up with my normal DPM. The colours are, I think, a little bit bleached out just with the camera. So just some of the others, so you can see I've altered the helmet slightly on this one. They are in the 44 pattern helmet. A lot of them are quite heavily scrimmed, which disguises it, and it can look, it basically, you can get away with it being an airborne helmet. This guy here, for example, I'm quite happy that you can get away with that. Obviously, there's some, I've just glued some of the grit on. That's why it's coming off. hasn't quite dried yet. But all in all, I'm sort of quite happy with them. Out of interest, what I'll be using, as I mentioned, I'll be using Skirmish Sangan, and they have they're working on a second edition of it. As I said, it's just going to be called Sangan. I've got a playtest version of it, which is sort of here. I'm not going to go into a great deal of detail about it. There's some really nice simplifications. They've streamlined it, but there's also a couple of new things that work really well. So what I'm going to do, I didn't want to just start going into it and showing you it without sort of permission of the author, really. So I'll drop him a quick email, see if he's happy for me to do a quick rundown on the channel, and we'll go from there. Okay, so that's where we are with the 28mm Airborne. Right, so that's how we're progressing with the figures. So as normal, if you've enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, please like it. If you're not already a subscriber, have a think about subscribing. You can do that from the main channel page, or alternatively at the end of the video in the bottom right hand corner there's a button which is disguised as an Empress 28mm modern British infantryman. Just click on that and you're subscribed. Progressing further along, I'm going to maybe do a short video on the game that me and Alex are putting on at Border Riva, which is the show at Gateshead on Saturday, September the 17th, which is 2 weeks on Saturday. Obviously, if you can get there, it would be great to see people have a chat, discuss the game. So that's what we'll be doing next. So once again, thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.